Alrighty, we are back with Echo Dawn Part 27, and we're talking to the king, and we're getting into the deep story. And he says he was the first human ever made, and the four of us followed him, and we were created like it was kind of paradise before stuff started going wrong. So he says, first two great events from the great of time. First creation, now corruption. The monsters, the violence, the distress, even death, which is very strange to them. Hasn't been known to this world before. And that's where we are. We're getting basically into the deep backstory of the game. And we're finding out that there's a bad character called Azanath, who is a CRA. Formed before the humans, and the CRA have seen basically the creative force that made everybody, and they used to guide people, but they became twisted, and I'm just basically looking at what's going on, what he's saying here. And Azanath got imprisoned in the north, and some trick basically happened to cause the corruption. So that's why everything's gone wrong. And that's how we are some way tied to it. And so we can, we find out that the magician appeared at the 1000th celebration of the first kingdom and did all these tricks and stuff like that. And he basically deceived them into going and freeing Azanath, who was imprisoned, and that's when stuff just went crazy. And if you remember back to the very flashback at the beginning of the game, we had this battle with Azanath. Basically, we're heading back in that direction, it seems like. We used to be trusted advisors and so on, and the king had sent us to go retrieve this artifact that the magician had basically said was awesome, and it turned out it was not. And yeah, for some reason we all died and came back to life to kind of go right our wrongs. So something along those lines. The whole story is right here, obviously, if you want to read it carefully. But this is a whole bunch of story and a bunch of the back history of this world and the reason that we're fighting the corruption that's currently happening. Wow, okay, so we were parked in the Hall of Heroes in Soros, and yeah, this is where he tells that basically the seven resurrected us, and we don't really know why. We don't have our memories back, and perhaps that's all going to be filled out later in the story, but we've been resurrected for the sake of probably going correct our wrongs. It's like we got another shot at doing things right this time. And it's also like a protection from the corruption that's currently happening to everything. If we basically had full recall of everything that happened, we'd still be kind of subject to the corruption of everything. So in a way, we remain kind of innocent and free to try to correct things without the burden of the guilt of how things went wrong before. So it's kind of like sending us out with like a clean slate. So here the king's basically telling us we're going to need some help to defeat Azanath. And part of that help is to get the different stones and kind of tap into creation's magic and use that sort of deeper magic to overcome the corruption and the evil that's going on. Okay, we're off to the Earth Realm. There's a misspelling there. Earth Realm. Anyway, I'm sure that'll get corrected soon. Where the Armanor is. And we find out that towns started blocking themselves in and protecting themselves because they wanted to stop bad monsters from spreading. And here we get our first ride. So the king's giving us a whistle, and we can get a Zelling. And the Zelling, yeah, he can do cool things. He can jump over rocks and take us to new territories that we've kind of been locked out of before. So currently we're heading southeast to Mount Monturgo. So I'm just going to jump out of town and mess around with this. Yeah, there it is on my screen, the whistle. Blow the whistle. Here comes a antelope-looking guy, and I can jump on and start riding around. Hit the whistle again. He runs away. And I'm going to save it after all that storyline and so on. Put my speed at fast. And before we go anywhere, I want to check the shop and see if there's any cool things we can buy. No, looks like same stuff that was here before. I just like cool stuff, man. I've got to have the latest and the greatest. But yeah, flying through the different dials and finding out, no, we don't have anything extra here, so we're going to be cruising out of town. And let's hop on our Zelling, go explore some territory. So he has a few limitations. I can't run through those trees and stuff like that. Can't cross water with him. But man, we can cruise places fast, and it also looks like we don't get in fights when we're on the Zelling. So this opens up the whole world map for a whole bunch of exploration. But like I said, I can't go through that forest. He doesn't like forests. So we're going to keep pushing down. It said to the southeast is where we're headed. Now hold on just a second. I just had an idea. Remember that box that's back near... we sail from Eiderland down there. I think I want to go get that before we progress further, because last time I found a box that would have been really helpful for that whole area. So I'm going to go back and find out what that is. So we're going to do a quick sail. Oh yeah, see that? He can jump. That's how it works. He can jump over rocks. So we're going to hop off, and we're going to hop into town real quickly, and we're going to take the sail to Elsport. And we can move so quickly that this won't take any time at all to just go find out what's down there. Taking the old familiar route. It'd be kind of funny if it cost some money to sail. Like you burning up all your gold just sailing back and forth. But no, free passage, man. The king must have cleared the route. He must have been like, if these guys want to sail on that ship, I will pay for it. You take them for a ride. So, okay, here we go. We can jump over the rocks. Got to climb back off of our Zelling. A barbaric brace. Now we got to be pretty much on cue for having this thing because we just got the Zelling. We just got the ability to get it. Look at all these iron eyelets. I do not recall getting those. That's pretty sweet. 2 armor, 1 strength, 1 stamina. Yes, always take stat upgrades. So we're going to equip that on our Templar, who can make the most of those, I think. I'm just checking through my other characters to find out if any of them can use any of these iron eyelets or any of the other things that I have in my inventory here. And it's not really looking like it. Now the iron eyelets are nice in that they do 3 armor, but man, I will take stat upgrades over an extra point of armor any day of the week. And here comes our Zelling. Kind of galloping across water. He just does things like that. He comes and goes right across the ocean. So let's sell off all of our extra stuff. I've kind of got a glut of things in my inventory that I don't really need. So let's clear it out. We haven't been using this stuff for a while. The Staff of Stone looks like nobody can even use that. So we'll get rid of that guy too. And we'll switch over to the Armor tab and the Cell tab, and we'll get rid of an old wood shield and a bunch of these iron eyelets. I might keep one of them around just in case I decide I need the extra armor. But everything else is going. Picking up 250 gold off each one of these things. That's kind of sweet. and the old Spalders, and we'll keep the one. And hop back on our boat. Well, I'm going to save it real quick so I don't have to ever redo. Oh, and I'll also go fastest speed for the sail. Try to speed up our ship. Okay, sailing, back out on the ocean blue. Taking the route back to Eiderland. And here we go. Hop on our Zelling. And, you know, and that wasn't that long of a detour. And it was definitely worth it for the item. So, and look at this. Man, we can cross some terrain in a hurry. Here's the castle again. Oh, I can go through one tree with the Zelling, but not forests. If you have forests, you're stopped. Okay, we're back in progress mode. We're going to find out what's down here. I'm not sure I just want to plainly cut through the trees, so I'm going to kind of go around as far as I can. And there must actually be a spot where the Zelling is needed, because it said something about you can jump stones and the villagers were blocking themselves off. Yeah, right here. So we needed the Zelling to get down here. We weren't even allowed to get down here before. So he's unlocked this new terrain. It looks like swamps he can't cross either, so we're going to have to hop off of him. So I'm going to throw down a save. Yeah, and it looks like my goal is all the way down to the right. So I've got to cross a bunch of swamps and head to that town down there. Okay, we're going to see who we run into in the water. New monsters. Plenty of new monsters. I'm going to charm one of those snakes because they look intimidating. Maybe I got the one that was next. Yes, I got the one that was next in the turn order. That's awesome. We're going to burn some cleave. 900 damage on a marshling, which vine lashes me, and they kind of hurt. So we're back in it. We're back in the game, man. We are back up against monsters, which can do us some real damage. 900 plus another roughly 600, so 1,500 on... Oh, a hairy frog doing some kind of special abilities. So we've got Vineling, or what were those guys? Marshlings. Okay, another 1,800 took one of them out, but look at my hit points already falling on my Templar. And I've buffed him, you know, I've given him extra items and stuff, so... So these guys dole out some damage, and yeah, we're definitely back in it as far as having some fights on our hands. Nice. Burn the Crusader's Call. The Templar definitely dropped some serious damage on that Marshling, and my Marksman did, and she's up again. Oh, these frogs have some serious points, and some spore pod thing, which is doing residual damage. It's kind of like we're poisoned, I guess. And the snake attacked himself and decharmed himself. I've got to start... I got to stay on top of the heel. These are marsh moccasins that are biting me. Man! Another dual shot, and the frogs just absorbed it right up. They're pretty stout. Okay, Bard. I'm trying to get rid of one of those things. That was a mistake. I should have just charmed one. Oh man, Spore Pod again. Venom Fang. I'm getting poisoned. I'm getting Spore Potted. I gotta throw a cleanse and get everything off of my party. And another dual shot. Let's see. This should finally take out both of those hairy frogs. Cleave missed on one of the moccasins. Not cool. We gotta get the charm going again. I think he's next. Yes. Decharmed himself, but at least took away his turn. So we're getting sort of beat up here. It's a bit of a dangerous swamp. Not exactly the safest place to be cruising around. And one more hit, and that'll do it. Alright, sweet. We have both our Marksman and our Templar leveled up, and we're gonna pop some points on the Marksman. I gotta keep her damage high, and I want to keep blasting that dual shot. And after the break in video, we will level up the Templar. So I'm gonna throw some intelligence for more MP.